Carrie and I are here at the Sheriff's Picnic. Our host is Sheriff Cocchi, and it's raining like it hasn't rained before at this event in decades. In fact, I checked with Tony Signoli. He thinks it's been at least 30 years since we've had rain at one of these. But I'm happy to be sitting here with City Councilor Jose Delgado, who is running for re-election. So, Jose, first of all, I want to thank you for your advocacy on exploring a municipal internet service for the city of Springfield. We really need the competition. We really need to make sure that there's maybe a more affordable alternative to the present internet services. Certainly, the pandemic showed that families really need that when we had all the school kids at home. So, can you talk a little bit about how you envision this process to start, and then we'll talk about some other stuff.
For sure. Well, first of all, Mike, thank you for having me again. And I will say that while we have a rainy day here, I think a lot of our lawns could use the rain. I know my lawn could definitely use a little bit of rain.
You're absolutely right.
Some moisture there. But when it comes to municipal fiber, municipal internet, when it comes to the internet in general, yes, we did see from COVID that just basic, internet is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. And so one of the things that I've been working on, I've been privileged to be the chair of the Digital Equity Working Group. We've done a number of things there. We've got a final report that's coming on, being released, that shows the inequities when it comes to broadband internet in general, from accessibility, affordability, and even education. You take that and you add the fiber piece. We need competition. We need to lower prices for our residents, and having just one provider is not doing us well. So one of the things I've looked at is municipal fiber. Unfortunately, I think that's going to be a challenge with the investment that needs. I've been pushing the administration on it. We've seen a number of communities who are doing it. Obviously, Westfield, you're seeing West Springfield get into it. I've even seen East Long Meadow talking about it.
But Chicopee has got
and
a program
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, many of those communities have their own kind of municipal light, which is one of the things you need to have to be able to do that. So whether it's a municipal fiber or just getting fiber here in general is something we need. The other thing I've been pushing is if we don't do the municipal fiber route, then we should have an RFP process for internet service providers who are looking at the city of Springfield. Because right now, there aren't many regulations on it. A provider can come in, they can set up shop, they can pick East Forest Park, 16 acres, but once they build there is no incentive for them to do the whole city.
Right.
So what happens there, and one of the things that I've been fighting is a private company can come in and build at higher median income neighborhoods, and once they're done, they stop. And no incentive to go to the rest of the city. So what happens is any other neighborhoods that are left out, it's going to be harder because another service provider is going to need the higher income neighborhoods to be able to build out. And so one of the things I'm fighting is to make sure that no neighborhood gets left out.
So an RFP would be, you got to do the whole city if you want to come in.
An RFP process is say, hey, talk with the city, talk with our administration. What can we do? How can we work with you to make sure that we get the whole city done? That's my vision. I mean, we did that for casinos, and that drum up competition. We should do that with the internet service providers as well.
So, you're running for re-election. What are some of the things that people have been talking to you about this summer as you're meeting people, talking to people? What do they see as ongoing issues in the city of Springfield?
Number one that I keep hearing is housing. Affordability, whether it's rental, whether it's buying a house, that's on the minds of a lot of people right now. Affordability, everything's gone up in prices, from our utilities to, so that's one of the big ones that I keep hearing about. And I know that, we had a meeting with Eversource when the whole utility rates thing, and we advocated for them to figure out what we can do there. But that's affordability, I think, is a big thing, right?
Especially now, since we're seeing inflation eat more of our dollars.
Correct.
Every day. Grocery prices are going up. So generally affordability about living in a place like Springfield, I'm
Correct.
sure is top of mind awareness for everyone.
I mean, even younger generations of people who are graduating from high school and college and are looking to start their careers. I mean, a lot of folks are just, the affordability is a major issue, which goes beyond Springfield. It's an affordability issue everywhere, but we have to figure out what we can do to keep our residents and keep our younger generations from leaving. So that's a big thing. I'm hearing an uptick in terms of food hunger as a result, again, of the affordability thing. And so there are a number of issues there that we need to take a serious look at, as well as I've heard from folks who are just afraid right now with the current what's going on federally, and they're afraid, and which is sad to hear that. So
Right. Well, we've got a lot of stuff ahead that really is going to require a lot of hard work, and I'm glad that you're running again.
I appreciate that.
We need younger voices on the city council. Some people have asked me to run. I said the last thing the city needs is a 71-year-old white guy on the city council.
Yeah.
Apologies to Brian Santinello if he hears that.
I don't begin anybody. I think for me, whether it's young generation, new generations, I think having newer voices is always helpful. But I also think we need a variety of voices, right? We don't need all of them to be young. We don't need all of them, to be young at heart. We just need,
he's the politician here.
We need a variety of voices, but we also need people that are willing to collaborate.
Yes.
Because I'm one city councilor out of 13. I cannot get anything done unless I have the full support. So we need folks that are willing to collaborate and to really look at the issues and how do we create that? How do we research? How do we become creative with what we're doing? And I've looked at a number of initiatives. I was blessed to pass the skills-based hiring ordinance, which is something that the state did. But it's one of those things where I feel like I didn't grow up connected into politics. I had to work hard where I got. I volunteer for free. A lot of people don't know I volunteer for free. But when I would apply for jobs, particularly state or local jobs, people wouldn't give me the opportunity, and I didn't know anybody. And so for me, the skills-based hiring is about opening up our jobs to folks who have relevant skills. I'm not saying to lower that you need to have relevant skills for your jobs. If you have certain skill sets for a particular job that requires a bachelor's degree, but you have all the other experiences, we should give you an opportunity to interview. You should not be automatically blocked because of a minimum requirement. And so I truly believe there are folks here that are talented that can apply for jobs and have relevant experience. I want to make sure I emphasize the relevant part.
Right.
For some of these jobs. So, with the support of my colleagues, we passed the skills-based hiring ordinance where we're going to work with the city to look at different job descriptions and make sure that we're not automatically blocking people out. I've also passed a resolution where I would love to see cameras out on the outside of school buses, because what I've noticed when bringing my son to school is a number of cars not stopping for the bus stop signs.
Right.
And that is a public safety issue.
It's a huge public
safety
yes.
issue, and so I think we need to do something. And the state passed a law that allows municipalities to look into that and to do that. And so I've already talked to the school department. I've talked, because the city council and the city does pay for the school buses. I made that another project that I'm pushing on top of digital equity, on top of some of the other things that I'm researching. And so I'm hoping, and that's also a revenue generator. They've already done 2 pilots in Peabody and in another community in the state of Massachusetts, and the number of violations and tickets that they put out is a revenue generator for them. So it's also, we need to think about revenue generation, because the budget keeps going up but we don't cut. So we've got to find other sources to help our residents.
Thank you, Jose.
Thanks.